Hi, I'm Jasmine from San Francisco. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I was born with cherry lips and big black eyes. My parents said I looked like a child out of a fairy tale. But whenever Mom and Dad talked to me, I never smiled or changed my facial expression. My parents tried everything to make me smile.
Mrs. Rabbit wants to play with you.
Come on, give Mr. Mouse a kiss.
Dad held a mouse puppet close to my face and made kissing noises. But I just stared blankly and slapped the mouse away from me. That's when my parents decided to take me to a doctor. After a few tests, I found out I had a condition called Mobius that meant I couldn't smile, frown, or lift my eyebrows. I was too young to understand what Mobius was, but when I was in preschool, Mom and I were at the mall when we bumped into one of her friends who had a daughter my age. She kept smiling at me, but all I could do was stare at her like a robot. Suddenly, the little girl started to cry.
Mommy, this girl is scaring me.
Oh, sweetie, don't be scared. Our dog ran away yesterday, so Jasmine's just sad.
But Mom, we don't have a dog? Mom pulled me away quickly. That's when I realized she was embarrassed to tell her friend I had a condition because that meant I wasn't normal like everyone else. And at school, none of the kids really wanted to be my friend because they thought I was strange. So I spent most of my time alone. But several months later, my life took a huge turn. Mom gave birth to my twin sisters, Kiara and Helena. My parents worked full-time, so we always had a maid in the house. But even with a maid, I was always the main one to watch my sisters. One day, Helena, the wilder twin, climbed all the way to the top of our backyard fence. Helena, come down right now!
No, I don't wanna. Kiara, come climb up and we can fly like birds do.
No, no flying! Kiara listened to me, but Helena was about to jump and my heart almost stopped. But then she started laughing like crazy.
Haha, fooled you!
I was furious and told Mom what Helena did. Mom went ballistic.
What is the matter with you, Helena? Why can't you be a good girl like your sisters?
Helena's eyes filled with tears. From that day on, she made everyone's life a living nightmare. She hated me for telling on her. And over time, Helena grew jealous of Kiara. Kiara was what you call gifted and could get straight A without even trying. One time, when the girls were in 4th grade, Mom and Dad threw Kiara a huge party for winning the school's spelling bee.
Our little Einstein, we're so proud of you, Kiara.
Helena stormed out of the room at that moment. And that night, she chopped off all of Kiara's hair while everyone was sleeping. Kiara burst into tears, and I tried to comfort her. Don't worry, it'll grow back.
Helena's such a mean bully.
I won't let her bully you anymore. Kiara, I'm here. Kiara slept in my room every night after that because she was terrified of Helena. I loved both my sisters, but Helena grew up to be so mean. Then one day in 8th grade, a new boy joined my class. His name was Daniel, and he wore those fat black spectacles. He was really short and really shy. While he was walking to class, this guy bumped into him and his glasses went flying. Daniel started freaking out.
I can't see anything!
I saw Daniel's glasses on the floor and picked them up quickly. Here you go! But it looks like they're broken!
It's okay, it's better than nothing.
Daniel put on his broken glasses. He looked silly, but also kind of cute. He and I ended up hanging out for the rest of the day, and he was super sweet and good to talk to. Over time, Daniel and I became really close, and I even started having feelings for him. But he always just treated me as a friend, and I didn't want to ruin what we had. Life in high school was good till Kiara and Helena joined and things got a little crazy. Whenever Helena saw me with Daniel, she grabbed the chance to make fun of me. One time Daniel and I were in the hallway when we passed Helena putting on lipstick.
Hey, Daniel, don't you ever get bored of hanging out with sad face emoji over here?
Of course not. That's not a nice thing to say, Helena.
Yeah, get out of my sight before you regret it.
Okay, but first I need to do this.
Before I knew it, Helena had pinned me against the locker and drew a smile on my face with her lipstick.
You look so much better now.
I pushed Helena to the ground and she fell on her butt. She dragged me down, but Daniel stepped in.
Cut it out, Helena!
Daniel pulled me up and led me to the girls' bathroom. He helped me rinse the lipstick smile off, and I looked at my face in the mirror. Daniel, do you think I'm ugly? You can tell me the truth!
Jasmine, look at me. You're not ugly. I think you're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen.
Daniel leaned in and kissed me, and I felt butterflies. A bunch of girls came in just then and started shrieking.
Ew, what's he doing in the girls' bathroom?
Daniel and I ran out laughing like crazy. I was on cloud 9 all that week. I didn't even mind that our maid was coming less, and I was doing all the chores by myself. But Helena couldn't stop talking about me having a boyfriend.
I just don't get it. How can someone like you have a boyfriend but not me? I'm way prettier than you.
Well, not everything is about looks, Helena. As time passed, Kiara started dating a popular jock at school. Her grades were still perfect, and she got much more popular than Helena. Kiara's life and mine were getting better and better, but Helena didn't have anything going for her. One morning, I woke up to find everybody at home, including my parents, which was rare, and Kiara was super sick. Her face looked super bloated, and she had red bumps all over her arms and legs. My parents left me at home with Helena while they took Kiara to the doctor. Helena was surprisingly well behaved and even stayed in to do homework. I decided it was safe to go out and see Daniel for a bit. But as I reached home, my parents and Kiara had also just returned. Guys, what's going on? Kiara, what did the doctor say was wrong?
I have an autoimmune problem. Apparently, every time I get an allergic reaction, this is what'll happen.
My parents left for work then. Suddenly, Kiara looked at her phone and started to cry.
Oh my god, just look what Helena posted.
To my horror, Helena had posted a picture of Kiara with her red skin, bumps, and bloated face on Instagram. Underneath, the caption read, "Even pretty girls have ugly secrets." Just then, Helena came trotting down the stairs all dressed up.
Helena, you're a monster. How could you do something like this?
I couldn't help myself. It was just too funny. Kiara looked totally Instagram-worthy.
Before I could answer, Kiara's boyfriend came down the stairs too.
Here, babe, you forgot your jacket.
Babe, what are you doing here?
Helena invited me over while you and your sister were out. Listen, I can't date you anymore, not after seeing your skin.
He and Helena walked out the door before any of us could say anything. How could Helena do something so sick? I stayed with Kiara the whole day and told my parents everything that had happened. They grounded Helena for 2 weeks. And then the strangest thing happened. Kiara became more popular in school, and kids at school started ignoring Helena. Everyone thought Helena was heartless for stealing Kiara's boyfriend. She became a total outcast. Kiara got a new boyfriend, and Daniel became more and more handsome. By the end of 12th grade, he even got contact lenses. The day before my graduation, my parents pulled me aside.
Jasmine, we were thinking maybe you can apply for an online college.
We still really need you to keep an eye on your sister, sweetie.
Are you kidding me? I've been the family nanny my whole life. It's about time you two took over and taught the twins to be responsible. I deserve to focus on my life now. With that, I walked away, and I spent days applying to my dream colleges. But one night, while I was reading, Kiara ran into my room.
Sis, come quick, it's Helena, she's gone.
What do you mean she's gone? I dashed into Helena's room to find my parents holding a note from Helena.
Helena wrote that she's leaving home to live somewhere else. She didn't even write where.
Dad called the police, and they tracked down Helena's phone. It turned out she was staying with our aunt, who Helena was super close with. We were all relieved, but when we went to pick her up, she refused to come home.
I told Aunt, I don't want to stay with you guys anymore, and she's happy to keep me. I'm not going home with you guys. You can't make me.
Mom and Dad spent hours begging her to come home, but they couldn't persuade her, so we left without her. But my parents were sure she'd cool off and return in a couple of weeks. Except she didn't. She stayed with Aunt for a month. Then 1 month turned into 3 months, and then 6. And Helena refused to speak to any of us. And I left for college soon with Daniel. I kept in touch with Kiara, who told me after some time that Helena had moved out of her aunt's place and was now living with some friend. 4 years later, Daniel and I graduated university with honors, and we started a small software company that met success almost immediately. And soon after, Daniel proposed to me, and of course, I said yes. Life was going great. And then one day, I got the most unexpected call.
Jasmine, it's Helena. Can you meet me today? I need your help.
No, hi, hello, how have you been?
Please, I'm in crisis. I'm texting you the address. Meet me there.
Helena hung up before I could even answer. I felt mad at her, but I just couldn't ignore my little sister. I went to the address and found her sitting on a bench outside a small building. Helena had chopped off her lovely hair, and she looked thin. Helena, what's going on with you?
I started a makeup business, and now I'm in debt. I was wondering if you could lend me the money to pay it off. I'll lose it otherwise.
You shut out your whole family for years, and now you call me out of the blue because you want money?
This is not how I wanted to reach out to you, okay? I wanted to make something of myself first, and make you guys proud of me. I was just never as perfect as you or Kiara, and that just made me jealous and stupid, and I'm sorry for everything. I've been trying to be better. I really believe my business can work, but now I'm in a mess as usual, and I could only think of you. You've always taken care of me.
I was surprised at how sincere and different Helena sounded, and it was good to see her trying at something. I wrote her a check and was about to leave when suddenly I turned back and handed her a wedding invite. I'm getting married in a few months. I'd like for you to come, and I'm sure everyone else would be happy to see you too. A couple of months before the wedding, Daniel took me out to a special dinner.
Jasmine, I've been saving up some money and doing research for years. Moebius, your condition can't be cured, but it can be slightly corrected through surgery. And I just found this amazing surgeon. I just want you to know that you're perfect as you are. But if you want the surgery, I have the money for it.
My eyes filled with happy tears. I agreed to get the surgery, and Daniel was by my side the whole time. The doctor couldn't completely fix my issues, but I felt like a whole different person being able to have real facial expressions. On the day of my wedding, my parents and Kiara were with me in the dressing room when suddenly the door opened and Helena walked in. Everyone looked shocked to see her, but I was so happy she came.
Guys, I know we've all had our issues, but can today be the day we all start to make up?
My parents hugged Helena and we all cried, and even Kiara joined in. Then my parents turned to me.
Jasmine, we're so happy for you and so grateful to you. We know we always put too much responsibility on you, and it wasn't fair.
We want you to know that we really appreciate you, love.
And hearing those words from them meant everything. My sisters walked me down the aisle, and I could hear people smiling and whispering that I looked amazing. Daniel beamed at me as he took my hand.
You have the loveliest smile, Jasmine.
Hi, I'm Alva from Sweden, and I have an incredibly rare genetic mutation that causes my aging process to be much slower than normal. Like when I was 6 years old, I looked like a dumb 2-year-old toddler, which made people treat me like one, and things got even worse as a teenager. But to hear the rest of my story, please like and subscribe. Because of my condition, my parents decided to homeschool me till I was a bit older. I only got to hang out with other kids at the playground, and I'd get picked on all the time because I looked so much smaller than everybody.
Welcome, dwarfs. To her, we're giants.
Even once, when I was about 8 years old, I was playing on the slides in the park when a worried-looking woman came running over to me.
Sweetie, are you lost?
No?
Oh, poor baby, probably can't understand a thing. You must be so scared.
Do I look scared? And I'm not a baby. But she wasn't even listening to me. She just pulled out her phone and called the police.
We have a missing child here, officer. Please help her find her mommy and daddy.
Despite my protests, the policeman still lifted me into a stroller, took me to the station, and started taking pictures of me for missing child posters. Oh my god, I know my parents' number and address! I live right across the street from the playground, and you guys kidnapped me! That was just one of the countless times my parents had to go to the police station to explain and bring me home. It only temporarily stopped when I joined school in the 7th grade. The minute I walked into the classroom, a girl elbowed me roughly and said,
Oh, little one, who are you looking for? Or are you lost?
Oh, if only I had $1 for every time I heard that, I would be a millionaire by now, and I wouldn't need to be in the school with dumb people like you. And with that, I pushed her aside and took my seat. When I did all the math problems correctly in the first lesson, the teacher called me over looking all starstruck.
Wow, Alva, you're a genius.
Thanks, but why?
Because you solved these algebra problems meant for 12-year-olds.
But I am 12 years old. The teacher just giggled. And then did something I hate. She grabbed my hoodie and lifted me like I was a little kid.
Oh, aren't you a little cutie pie? Yes, you definitely have the mind of a 12-year-old.
No matter how many times I said it, no one believed that I was actually 12. They'd rather believe I was some kind of baby genius who'd been bumped up a few grades. After trying really hard, finally, I gave in and let everyone believe I was super smart. Even so, this didn't really help me become popular or make friends, though. Jessica, the meanest girl in class, wasn't too happy because everyone thought I was the smartest, and she made sure everyone constantly made fun of me.
Oh, my butt looks so huge. Are you wearing a diaper? What kind of language is that book in? Goo goo gaga? Is anyone volunteering to lift Alva up to the toilet?
Another time I was eating lunch by myself when Jessica suddenly stopped by my table.
Oh, how is the baby going to eat all that with her little baby teeth?
Why are you this way, Jessica? What do you mean? I mean, why are you so awful to me? You're the most popular girl in class.
Yeah, I know. But before you showed up out of nowhere, I was the smartest too.
Fine, you're the prettiest and the smartest girl in the world. Can you leave me alone now, please?
Sure, but let me mash everything for the little baby to eat first.
And with that, she started pounding my food with her fist. OMG, you are such a psycho! I picked up the smushed piece of cake and flung it at her face. She picked up my glass of juice and dunked it on my head. My battle with the big bully happened. And before we knew it, everybody joined in for fun and a full-scale food fight had broken out. We both got detention, and after that day I found a corner in the little playpen for the kindergarten kids and basically had lunch there by myself for the next 3 years. Until one day, Isak came and sat next to me. Isak had just joined our class a few weeks ago and he was a total babe. With all the popular girls drooling all over him, I was sure he wouldn't notice someone like me, which is why I was pretty shocked to find him here.
Why do you always have lunch alone?
Is this your first time in high school? Of course, I don't expect someone like you to get it. He took my hand and looked deep into my eyes.
I don't understand why there's such an adorable girl in this high school.
I was so annoyed at how fast that made my heart beat. After that, Isak and I became really good friends. He'd always sit with me to watch his football games and started coming over to my place for study dates. Since he joined so late, he needed to do a lot of catching up and I was more than happy to help. I hated to admit it, I just had the biggest crush on him. The annual spring dance was around the corner and it was all anyone could talk about at school. All the girls were yapping nonstop about their dresses and who they'd be going with. Of course, I was hoping Isak would ask me out, but when he didn't, I decided I didn't need to wait around like a sappy Disney princess. I'd ask him out myself. I bought tickets for the opening show of the new Avengers movie. Just as we were about to enter the theater, one of the cinema staff stopped me.
Hey, little girl, you can't go in. That's a PG-13 movie.
I'm almost 16 here! Look at my ID!
We see fake IDs all the time, kid. Sorry, but I can't let you go.
And with that, he pushed me out of line and refused to listen to me anymore. I can't believe this. Let's go then.
Go. I mean, what's the point of wasting both the tickets? We'll still have dinner together, okay?
And just like that, he turned and went inside. I was furious, as I couldn't even go anywhere because he'd driven me here. When he finally came out after 3 hours, he was practically jumping with excitement.
OMG, that was epic! Deadpool is way funnier and cooler than I imagined!
He'd not only watched the movie without me, he'd ruined it for me completely. I thought maybe the rest of the evening would go a little better, but boy was I wrong. At the end of the meal, when the waitress brought us our fortune cookies, they looked over excitedly at Isak to open his and read the little note inside.
Will you be my date for the spring dance, Isak?
He looked up at me in complete shock.
Alva, I don't know how to say this, but no. How could you even think that? You're more like a little sister to me. I've already asked Jessica out. Man, you've really made things awkward.
I felt so utterly crushed and stupid I flung a glass of water in his face. I wish I could become Wolverine to leave 3 scars on your mouth. And with that, I ran out of there and took the bus home. Nobody was more grateful than me when stupid high school ended and I was off to college. It wasn't too far from my town, so my parents could visit me often or come bail me out every time an officer thought I was an underage driver. Gosh, this is the 3rd time this month. Why are you police officers so dumb? Can't you see I have a real license?
She doesn't mean that, officer. Come on, sweetie. Let's go!
My parents always had my back, but no one understood how frustrating it was for me to be treated like a kid all the time until I met Andrew. In my 2nd year at university, I took up a job as a professor's assistant for one of the courses. I knew the other students made fun of me behind my back, but one day they went really overboard. The professor was unexpectedly detained and I was taking the class in his place. As soon as I turned my back to the board, I got hit by a dozen paper balls. I turned around to see everyone snickering. I'm your teacher! Didn't your parents teach you any respect?
You're not our teacher! You can't even reach the top of the board without standing on a stool. Go back to school, loser!
You can't behave this way with me! I want everyone who's responsible to apologize right now!
Or you'll do what? Go crying to your mommy?
I'll fail you in every single assignment. You do remember I grade them, right?
Oh no! I'm scared, Miss Alva. Will you forgive me if I give you a lollipop?
That's it! Get out!
Happy to! Come on, guys, let's go! We don't need to take orders from some high school smarty pants!
And just like that, the whole class walked out. I tried to keep my cool, but when everyone had left, I burst into angry tears. Just then, I felt a gentle tap on the shoulder, and I looked up to see that it was Andrew, one of the students.
I'm really sorry about the way they treated you. I think you're really smart and beautiful.
We became friends, and soon after we started dating. He was just the sweetest guy, and even though he looked much older than me, he was never ashamed to hold my hand in public, even if it got us weird looks. A few weeks later, I had an internship interview in another city, and Andrew offered to see me off at the airport. Just as I was leaving, he took my hand.
Good luck, babe. I hope you get it, but I'll really miss you.
And with that, he pulled me in for our first kiss. My head was still spinning with joy, and finally I saw a few policemen walking towards us.
Sir, please move away from the kid!
What's the problem, officer?
We've recently had many reports of a gang kidnapping young girls, and you need to come down to the station with us to answer a few questions.
Wait, what? He's not a kidnapper. He's my boyfriend, and I'm 20 years old. The policeman didn't listen to a word we said, and we were taken down to the station. My parents had to come down again with my birth certificate and baby pictures before they finally let us go. It turned out that the people at the airport had been making videos of the whole thing, and it had gone viral on social media with people saying all sorts of mean things about me and Andrew. And to make things worse, the company I had an interview with wasn't happy that I didn't show up, so I lost the internship too. I was beyond furious now. I took to social media myself and posted a video talking about how I'd always been discriminated against because of the way I looked. The video went viral, and I started receiving a lot of sympathy messages and support. The public pressure made the police issue an official apology, and the company even offered me the internship again. But my condition had really sparked an interest in the public, and I was being invited to tons of TV and online interviews. All everyone wanted to know was the secret of my youth. Soon enough, I realized that people envied me. One morning, I picked up the local newspaper from the door and was horrified to see my face splashed across the front page with the headline, "Girl Discovers Secret to Eternal Youth."
Babe, come here and look outside the window.
To my shock, there was a massive crowd of people outside our apartment building, and the minute they spotted me in the window, they started screaming.
Have you discovered the Fountain of Youth? Tell us where it is.
What do you eat to look so young? I'll pay anything for it.
With your anti-aging formula for youthful skin, we can become millionaires. Come work for our skincare company.
This was complete madness, and I had to put an end to it. I opened the window and everybody became quiet to hear what I had to say. Listen, there is no secret. It's a condition I've always had, and it's not a blessing. I've never had anyone take me seriously my whole life. I spent all of high school being bullied. My message to everyone is that we all need to learn to be happy in our own skins and accept everyone as they are. Thankfully, the message spread far and wide, and people didn't bother me again. But I still became pretty famous and was regularly called for talks on self-acceptance and against bullying. I'm married to Andrew now, and we have 2 young kids, and secretly I really don't mind at all when someone says I don't look like a mom.
Hi everyone, my name is Harper and I'm from New York. Please like and subscribe. I was born to a super rich single mom who was a successful businesswoman. She was a very hardworking lady but loved me just as much.
Hey, sweetie, what do you want for dinner tonight? After that, we can go buy your favorite doll.
But ma'am, the way to downtown is blocked off right now.
Then get the helicopter ready. Because there's no way I'm not making something special for my girl's 5th birthday. Grab anything you like.
Oh, Mommy, I love you. She was the best. But unlike her, I was kinda shy. The next morning, she even used a helicopter to take me to school on my first day. Thanks to that, I instantly became super popular. But things took a strange turn soon after. One time when the teacher asked me to recite a poem in front of the whole class, I was already super nervous. But just then, a kid pointed at me and screamed.
Look at her face! She looks like an eggplant about to burst!
And then all the kids started pointing and laughing. I quickly ran to the washroom to check what was going on, and when I looked in the mirror, I freaked out. Ah! My face was really purple! The teacher found out and immediately called my mom, saying I had some psychological issues, so she took me to the doctor.
I'm afraid your daughter might have a rare condition that causes her face to turn really purple whenever she's nervous or excited.
No, why? I felt really sad when the doctor said there was no permanent cure, and I'd have to get used to it. Mom tried to lift my spirits, but I wasn't feeling good about myself. When we got home, I ran to the garden because I wanted to be alone. But there I saw Levi, a maid's kid struggling to climb up a tree.
What are you doing here?
My ball got stuck on the tree and I can't get it back.
Give me a leg up and we can get it!
But as soon as I took the first step, my foot slipped and we both fell to the ground. Embarrassed, my face turned purple. Gosh, he's about to laugh at me.
Wow, you can change colors like a superhero. You're awesome.
Oh, really? And his words gave me so much confidence. After that day, Levi and I became really close. Since Mom was mostly busy, we spent all our time playing together. I realized Levi was super smart. He even helped me with my homework. And when Mom saw this, she enrolled him at my school too. But as we grew up, the kids at school always made fun of him for being a maid's son.
Oops, my juice spilled on the floor. We need to call your mom to clean it up, Levi.
You!
I heard people say your mom's the Minister of Cleanliness and Sanitation. I'm sure she can do the job better.
And you want to clean up for his mom, huh? Jerk rich brat. How dare you?
She looked like her head was on fire, but I didn't care. I won't let anyone talk like that to my best friend on my watch. But over time, my purple disease started to bother me more. Levi would tell me not to pay so much attention to it. But he was a boy. So every time I saw a guy who was a total babe, I'd try to imagine my grandpa in a weird costume.
Ew!
And that would calm my excitement. One day, I was walking with Levi in the garden when Mom called me in, and I found her standing next to a really cute guy around our age.
Harper, this is James, my bestie's son. He's new here. Maybe later you can show him around the city.
We started talking, and he seemed like a nice guy. Levi's mom walked over with a cake and tea on the tray, and suddenly she tripped on the carpet. The glasses and cake went flying straight at James's face, who jumped up from his seat.
You stupid maid! Are you blind? Gosh, look what you've done. This shirt is worth more than your whole year's salary.
Just then, Levi walked into the room angrily, but before he could say anything, his mom signaled him to stop. She immediately apologized to James, and Mom told her to go. As James went away to change, I wish I'd said something, but I didn't want to make the room even more tense. And later, I took him out reluctantly to show him around the city. As we were walking down a street after dinner, he suddenly took my hand.
Harper, I had a great time with you today. How about we end this beautiful night with a kiss?
No, thank you!
Ah, monster, your face is purple, weirdo.
My face was all purple because I was so mad, and I slapped his stupid face so hard. This was the worst evening of my life, you moron! Stay away from me! Later that night, when I reached home, Levi was nowhere to be seen, and I knew where I'd find him. The garden. Hey, what are you doing here by yourself?
Oh, you're back from your date with that jerk. I would have punched him if Mom hadn't stopped me. By the way, did you two kiss?
Yep, of course! I slapped him right across the face when he tried to do that.
What? Did he say something to you? Are you okay?
I'm fine! And I should have slapped him earlier when he talked to your mom like that. By the way, you look cute when you're jealous.
Jealous? Who said I was jealous?
I turned towards him and he gave me a big smile. And I couldn't help but kiss him. It was my first kiss and it felt amazing. A couple of days later, I went into Mom's room to ask her something, but I found her looking really worried. What's wrong, Mom?
Hi, so honey, one of the heirloom necklaces that I wear at this fundraising event every year is missing.
What? We should call the police immediately!
I've already informed the police and I'm having the guards look into it too, honey.
The necklace had been in our family for generations, and it was freaking expensive. Mom had the security team looking into the CCTV footage, and it turned out that Levi was the one who'd entered and left Mom's room late at night. No, it couldn't be! When the guards went and searched Levi's and Mom's room, they found the necklace in one of the drawers. Levi, you stole my mom's necklace?
Harper, are you calling me a thief? How could you even think that? I didn't steal anything.
Then how do you explain this necklace here? If you needed money, you could have just—
I can't believe you turned out to be like all those other rich brats who don't trust me just because I'm poor.
What? How could you?
That's enough. The evidence speaks for itself. Harper, honey, go back to your room.
I couldn't believe he had the nerve to talk to me like that. After what he did, I stormed back to my room. I didn't want to talk to him ever again. Only my wish came true. Mom told me that evening that Levi and his mom had confessed to their crime. Since Mom had the necklace back, she called off the police, but she fired them. They were gone. Of course, Mom had to do that, but I felt devastated. The next few days, I didn't feel like doing anything except staying in bed and watching Luna Avatar videos. Mom came in and tried her best to cheer me up.
Oh, sweetie, forget about those people. Do you want to go on vacation or go shopping?
No, Mom, I'm fine. Summer break was almost over, and I decided I wasn't spending any more time moping over that loser. I was really going to focus on my studies in the last year of high school. But as soon as I entered my class, I bumped into this new girl who shouted,
"Watch where you're going, moron!"
"Excuse me! Watch your mouth!" First, she scanned me from top to bottom and then pushed me. I was about to push her back when I heard a familiar voice from behind.
Stay away from her!
I turned around and saw Levi walk towards me. I was certain he'd left the school. "I don't need you to take my side, you thief." But he just walked past me and went up to that girl.
Are you okay, Josie?
What? The dancing ducks! He was worried about this new weirdo and not me.
Oh, Levi, she attacked me.
Shut up, she's a liar, she!
Just because you're super rich doesn't mean you can treat everyone like dirt.
What? You don't even know what happened here.
Just stay away from me and my friends.
As if I want to be close to you. And who's this friend? And what are you even doing here?
In case you forgot, I'm pretty smart and I applied for a scholarship, and I don't have to answer your questions.
He took Josie's hand and stormed off. Gosh, he really had a lot of attitude for a thief. I could feel my face turning crazy purple with anger, and I quickly ran off to the washroom to cool off. This whole year was just gonna be awful. I avoided them completely, but seeing that stupid Josie clinging to Levi all the time somehow made my blood boil. A few weeks later, our teacher announced a school trip to a fancy skiing resort, and everyone had to pay $800 for it. As the bell rang and everyone left, Levi walked up to the teacher.
"Ma'am, I won't be able to go on the trip because it's my sister's wedding that weekend."
She nodded and he left. He didn't have a sister. I knew he lied because he didn't have the money to go. I caught up with the teacher as she walked out. "I have a favor to ask, ma'am. Would it be okay if I paid for Levi's trip? But you can't tell him. Please tell him that the school decided to take all the kids for free." She agreed to do that. And I was so happy when I saw her talking to Levi separately the next day, and his face lit up. On the day of the trip, we were all on the school bus when I heard Levi say to Josie,
"Isn't it really cool that the school made this trip free for everyone?"
Free? What are you talking about? I paid $800 for it.
Yeah, we all did. What do you mean, man?
Levi looked shocked and then his eyes met mine. Oh God, he caught me.
No, I didn't mean that. I think some snacks on the trip are free.
And when we got to the resort, he immediately pulled me aside and turned to me angrily.
"Why did you pay for my trip? And don't even try to deny it. I know you did it."
Okay, yeah, I did. What's the big deal?
"I don't want anyone's charity, especially from someone like you."
What's that supposed to mean? Someone like me? Why are you acting like you don't know me?
"I don't know you. You're not who I thought you were."
Oh, yeah, you neither. I walked past him with angry tears. Why had I even bothered? A few days later, there was a dance in school for all the high school students, and my mood instantly turned sour. Seeing Josie pull Levi onto the dance floor and wrap her arms around him, I was so annoyed that I picked a random guy and pulled him to the dance floor too. Whoa! The entire time I could see Levi glaring at me every time I inched closer to that guy. Perfect! But this guy was starting to get a little too comfy. So I pushed him away and walked out. But he followed me outside.
"Come on! What's the rush, baby girl? We're not done dancing yet."
Yes, we are. Can you please back off? But he didn't, so I kicked him hard in the knee. Just then, Levi came from behind and punched him.
"How dare you try to touch her, you moron!"
I pulled Levi away before he could hurt him anymore, and the guy ran for his life.
"You had to pick the biggest sleazeball to dance with."
What's your problem? Go cling on to your girlfriend.
"She's not my girlfriend! Harper, why can't you be more responsible?"
Why do you care? You've been nothing but mean to me since I got here.
"Because I'm mad at you. It doesn't mean I don't care. I just can't forgive you, because you called me a thief."
Yeah, because you stole my mom's necklace. I saw you on the CCTV.
CCTV? What are you talking about?
I saw you leaving my mom's room the night before on the CCTV camera. And they found the necklace in your room.
What? I went there because your mom called me to discuss your birthday surprise. I have no idea how the necklace got into my room.
What? Mom called you? So why did you confess to the crime if you were innocent?
Confess? No, we didn't. Your mom threatened to throw us in jail if we didn't leave immediately, so we did.
What? Was he telling the truth? Why did Mom do that? I had to find out the truth. When I got home, I went straight to the most trusted maid we had and asked her what really happened. She reluctantly confirmed what Levi had already told me. He and his mom had never admitted they stole the necklace and Mom had simply made them leave. I went straight to Mom's room.
Oh, honey, you're home.
How about? Is it true that you called Levi into your room the night before the necklace went missing?
What? Who said that?
And they never admitted to stealing the necklace? But you said they did. I want to know the truth. Mom, please, no more lies. The look on her face suddenly changed as she fell back into her chair.
Yes, I did. I did. All of that to keep you away from Levi. That's why I introduced you to James. But even that didn't work. When I saw you kissing Levi, I had to do something drastic. I just didn't want you to suffer like I did.
Suffer like you? What are you talking about?
Your father was the son of my dad's driver, and I was so madly in love with him. But soon after I told your dad I was pregnant with you, he ran away with all the money and jewelry in the house. I didn't want you to end up like me. These poor people are all the same.
That's so unfair. Mom, I'm sorry about what you went through, but what you did to Levi and his mom was terrible. They're good people who didn't deserve any of it. I'm not going to forgive you for that.
Harper, please don't say that. I did it because I love you, honey.
Well, you don't make people suffer when you love them. Mom! I shut myself up in my room, refusing to open the door for Mom. And the next day at school, I spotted Levi on his way to class. And I ran to him and hugged him. Oh, Levi, I'm so sorry!
Harper, what happened?
I'm just so sorry. I should have trusted you. And then I broke down and told him everything. I thought he'd be so mad, but he just hugged me.
It's okay, Harper. It's not your fault. What your mom did was awful, but maybe I'll be able to forgive her one day, and you will too. Let's put it behind us, because I've really missed you.
I've missed you too, Levi.
Let me start making up for lost time.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I live in Canada. Please like and subscribe to Luna Avatar. I was born in a vibrant city full of colors, but I can only see a few of them. I found out I was colorblind when I was just 3 years old. People think my world is just black and white, but actually, to me, a rainbow is only blue and yellow. It's a genetic thing because my dad is colorblind too. Oh, and he was super rich, so we lived in this huge mansion. It wouldn't be so bad to be just like him. The trouble began when I started going to school. My teacher went crazy trying to explain colors to me, but I couldn't identify a single one correctly. The other kids just made it worse, especially my classmates Cindy and Ryan. They were twins, and they were both super annoying. They would judge and review my outfit every single day in front of everyone. Dad and I couldn't spot a lot of patterns, so most of the time, I honestly had no idea what I actually looked like.
She looked like a stupid clown. Did you get dressed in the dark?
I'm colorblind!
What is that? That's fake.
Cindy even told the whole class that I was lying about a weird fake disease to cover up my stupidity, and everyone looked at me like I was dumb. Ryan was somehow even more annoying than Cindy. He wanted to test and see if I was telling the truth, so he would randomly put paint marks on my things to see if I would notice. Stop ruining my things!
You jerk! I knew you lied. You could see them.
I don't see some colors! Some! One day, Cindy went too far. She stole my sketchbook, tore up all my drawings, and pasted them all over the school hallway. The whole class laughed at my blue tree and green skies. I attacked her, and we started fighting on the ground while all the other kids cheered. Suddenly, Ryan showed up and stopped us.
Stop it, Cindy. Take the pictures down.
What's up with you? You're taking her side?
If she's really colorblind, we shouldn't make fun of her.
I was in shock. Ryan was defending me. Cindy walked away fuming, and I thanked him. Not only did he take down all the pictures and clear everyone out, but he also apologized for not believing me. He then spent days asking me tons of questions to better understand my condition.
Is everyone in your family colorblind? Is it like temporary memory loss? If I hit you on the head, will you see colors again?
Oh, that was such a dumb question. But honestly, he's kinda cute. I thought we could actually become friends, but something happened that ruined it all. The interview to get into a fancy private middle school. All the kids wanted to get into that school because it was the only good one in the entire town, and the competition was insane. Unfortunately, I didn't do well on the test, and the teacher didn't hesitate to cut me from the pass list. Cindy laughed out loud.
Ha! I knew you were stupid.
Before the first tear could say goodbye from my eyes, my dad jumped into action. He offered the school a huge donation to accept me.
Sorry, but we don't have any spots left for any more children. Even if you—
I'll double the donation, then give her someone else's spot.
Dad, that's cheating! The teacher's eyes lit up when she saw the check. And unfortunately, Cindy was the one who got picked.
You have the lowest marks after Hannah, so it has to be you.
The stupid teacher was so happy about the donation that she let it slip, and Cindy and her parents went crazy with rage.
This is bribery. This is unfair.
The crowd of adults became chaotic and started fighting each other. Ryan gave me the worst look ever.
I can't believe you would do this!
I knew he was cheating, but Dad refused to back down. We joined our new school, and Ryan came without his twin. One day, he told us that Cindy had been sent to boarding school.
None of the other schools in town are good. Now she has to live away from her family. I hope you're happy, Hannah.
That was the day we became enemies. He hated me. I felt guilty, so I bought him a lot of presents as an apology, but he kept throwing them back in my face.
You can't buy me, you brat!
He told everyone that I was only here because of bribery, and they all thought I was a rich, spoiled jerk. He called me stupid names in class, and he made fun of my outfit so much that I started asking my maids to choose them for me. As if school wasn't hard enough, as I was growing up, the subjects were getting harder, and our textbooks labeled everything in different colors. I could hardly understand what my teachers were teaching because they always used colored chalk and gave us color-coded notes for every class. Every time I failed, Ryan was ready to attack me.
Oh, isn't your dad super rich? Why don't you just buy yourself a better grade?
I threw my paper in his face. Even if I was bad at getting grades, I could still dance, sing, and run. I started going to classes and training after school, and in a few months, I was a part of both the school track team and the cheerleading squad.
I guess you can buy a place in any club.
Shut up, Ryan! Make me! I did make him shut up when I won my first gold medal in track. I rubbed it in his face so hard when my winning streak continued. My principal called me to her office to congratulate me and said,
Hannah, you can get amazing offers from colleges if you keep performing like this, but you have to maintain an average grade of AC.
That made me nervous, and his solution made me want to throw up.
We're going to partner you up with the best kid in school, Ryan.
Ryan walked in with the most evil look on his face. The teacher said that Ryan would be my partner in every class from now on, and he would tutor me every day after school. Oh no, I tried to protest, but my teacher thought it was a great idea and Ryan agreed with him. What was he going to get out of this? The answer was simple. He wanted to torture me. He gave me a mountain of homework every day. And if I didn't do it, he threatened to report me to the teacher whenever we partnered up for projects. He made me do all the work for the learning experience. He was going out of his way to annoy me. And one day, I just vented to my dad about it at dinner. I was not prepared for what Dad did next. He showed up at school and barged into class with the principal. They announced that Ryan was expelled for bullying me. What? We all rushed to the principal's office and I screamed at my dad. What are you doing?
Getting rid of your bully.
I didn't want you to solve my problem. I just wanted your support.
I am supporting.
You can't just crush people's lives for me. It's not fair. It's what made everyone hate me in the first place. If you do this, I am never talking to you again.
Dad looked shocked. We had never shouted at each other like this.
Fine, he can stay. Never bully my daughter again.
With that, Dad stormed out without even looking at me. I'd never fought with him before, and I couldn't help but cry when Ryan offered me a tissue. I slapped his hand away.
I don't want your help. Just go away.
I'm not helping you. I'm just standing near you and I happen to have a tissue.
I snatched it out of his hands and turned to leave, but he pulled me back.
Why didn't you just let him expel me? Don't I bug you?
I'm not a jerk. I hated taking Cindy's place, and I wish I could undo it. I'd never do that to someone again.
I may have been meaner to you than I needed to be. I'm sorry.
You're what?
I'm sorry, okay? I'm not saying it again.
With that, he ran away, and I was stunned. This was the nicest conversation we'd had in years. When I went home that day, Dad and I sat down to talk about what happened. To my surprise, he apologized for going overboard. I made him promise to trust me and let me handle my life myself.
How can I make it up to you? Is there anything that you want?
That's when I got an idea. I asked Dad to pay the school to offer Cindy a place again. She's living away from her family because of us. We should fix it. Dad agreed. And the next day, he put in a request to have Cindy transferred back. She accepted the offer from our school, and when Ryan realized she was coming back, he went crazy.
Did you do this?
Yes, I'm so happy she got accepted.
Thank you.
He grabbed me in a hug so tight I could barely breathe. He finally forgave me for everything that happened and we became friends again. He tutored me for real this time. He found colorblind friendly versions of our textbooks, and if he couldn't, he would make notes that I could clearly understand. I finally got a B average and I got an offer from an amazing college. I literally flew into Ryan's arms. He lost his balance and we fell. Our faces were so close together that I blushed. Suddenly, someone pulled him away from me. It was Cindy. She was back and I was nervous. I was sure that she still hated me for all those years she had to be away from her family. But she acted totally sweet and normal.
I know you took my spot, but I bullied you when we were kids. We both did stupid things. I miss my family, but I had a nice life in school. I'm just happy to be back now, and I hope we can be friends.
I was shocked, but Cindy and I actually started hanging out. When Ryan finally got into his dream college, we all celebrated together. One day, Cindy showed up at my house and she was in tears. She told me that her family was out of money.
There's no way they can pay for Ryan's college.
But he literally dreams about college.
He can't go unless you do something about it. Your dad has connections, right? He can convince the college to give him a full scholarship.
No, we can't interfere.
We have to. Ryan already has a spot, so we're not hurting anyone. He works so hard. He deserves this.
I was scared, but she was right. I asked my dad for help and he said,
I have a friend at the university I can talk to. I'll do it.
A few days later, Ryan showed up at school fuming.
Did your dad contact the scholarship committee behind my back?
No!
Tell me the truth!
Everyone fell silent.
Yes, he did!
They just sent me their rejection letter for using my connections to get a scholarship. They banned me from applying again. You ruined everything, Hannah.
My jaw hit the floor as he stormed off. I'd messed up horribly. Ryan refused to come to school, and he didn't pick up any of my calls. Cindy even took me to their house, and he just hid in his room and played music at the highest volume so he couldn't hear me. I was utterly shattered by what I'd done. I told my dad about it, and he came up with a plan. He apologized to the committee and told them that Ryan had no idea about his involvement.
My daughter has a crush on the kid at school, so she made me do it.
Oh my God, Dad! With his explanation and a sizable donation, the school agreed to lift the ban on Ryan. I literally flew over to his house to tell him about it. He wouldn't open the door, so Cindy let me in through the window in his room.
What the heck?
The college wants you back. They lifted the ban.
I got their email. Did your dad pay for this too?
Maybe he did. So what?
It feels like you do whatever you want, and you just pay for your problems to go away.
I didn't pay for my problems to go away. I did it for you. I thought you deserved that school.
You're being an idiot, Ryan. I convinced Hannah to help. She didn't even want to do it.
I could have gotten into so much trouble.
I just acted rashly because I care about you. I wanted you to have what you want, and I almost ruined everything. I'm really sorry. When Ryan finally forgave me, I literally burst into tears. I did not like feeling guilty. They both hugged me, and I finally felt better. I promised to never mess with their lives again now that all three of us were friends. Cindy noticed my feelings for Ryan instantly. She was so excited for me to ask him out, but I would get all nervous and chicken out every time. One day, Ryan and I were sitting in the cafeteria when a boy walked up to me.
Hey, Hannah, Cindy said you were looking for a date, so I thought I'd take you out to dinner. You in?
Cindy gave me a wink and Ryan just glared at him.
She can't go out with you. She's going out with me.
I am?
Oh, I didn't ask you. I'll do it now. Hannah, you want to go out with me?
Dude! I asked her first.
She'll pick me.
I don't know.
Come on!
It's a real pickle. I'll need 2 or 3 days to think about it. Ryan leaned across the table and kissed me. I was breathless.
Yes, my plan worked.
Hi, I'm Skylar from Chicago. Please like and subscribe. I think I decided when I was born that I liked my mom way more than my dad. That's probably because she's always saving me from my dad's crazy antics. Mom owned a pet shop in the neighborhood that had been in our family for generations. It was like the ultimate hangout for me and my besties when I was a little kid. Oh, and I've got a twin sister, Ellie, who's super close to Dad, no clue why. If there were an award for the messiest, most irresponsible guy ever, he'd surely win. And I'm totally grossed out by Dad's mess. Daddy, why did you throw your muddy boots on the sofa again?
Are you saying something, honey? I can't hear you.
Maybe you would if you stopped playing the video game.
Shut up! You're so annoying! Can't you let us have some fun, you parrot?
I threw the boot at Ellie when she said that. But I couldn't do the same to Dad because he was my dad. He works part-time as a delivery guy for a pizza place nearby. And when he's not doing that, he does nothing but play video games. and make a mess. But once when I was in first grade, he really went too far. He took Ellie and me to the playground. While we were playing on the slide, he went off to play football with some boys. Ellie and I didn't realize how much time had passed until it got dark. We got worried looking for our beloved dad, but we couldn't find him anywhere.
Skylar, Dad ditched us. I don't know the way back home.
I don't either, but it's okay. We have each other. We'll be fine. Then, I suddenly remembered the playground was near Mom's pet shop, and I took Ellie's hand and made my way there. Luckily, we got there just as Mom was closing up the shop to head home. She took us back fuming, and we found Dad on the couch in his muddy, stinky clothes playing games with a VR headset on.
Oh, I thought it was the sound of a monster showing up. Hurry up, ladies. Don't let the big man starve. It's dinner time.
He didn't even realize he'd left us at the playground. A huge fight broke out between them. It was the biggest one ever. And just like the saying goes, no man can ever win an argument with a woman, not even the messiest man alive. So the next day, Dad packed up his bags and left, saying he was moving in with his mom and, well, he never visited or came back. Ellie was super upset, but I was secretly relieved, and Mom seemed happier too. Good riddance. Men were the worst. Growing up, I even avoided talking to boys my age. I was totally convinced they were all just as messy and careless as Dad. Like once in 5th grade, the teacher made a boy sit next to me for a history class activity, and he was a total chatterbox. Worse, he messed up the order of all my markers.
Dude, why didn't we just keep moving on all fours?
Ma'am, where can I find a no-boys class?
It's not possible, Skylar. You'll have to learn to get along with everybody, yes, even the boys.
The boy grinned at me, and I grabbed a marker and crippled all over his face. The teacher called my mom, and I got a bunch of lectures. But nothing could change my mind. Boys were icky, and I hated them. Soon after, I discovered something I was really into, acting. I joined the drama club, and there I found myself fighting for the lead roles every year with a girl named Lily. I mostly beat her to them, and obviously she hated me. By the time we were in high school, all the boys knew I had sent a few chatterbox boys to the hospital, so they started to be scared of me. Lily wouldn't stop annoying me about it.
Who are you going to go to prom with? Your cat. Do you stay away from the boys because you know you're ugly and no one will like you?
Once, I walked into the girls' bathroom at the club while she was washing up and she shrieked.
Oh my god, are you trying to get a peek at me? I know you're into girls, but don't even think about me.
Yikes! No, even if I was into girls, I have good taste, Lily. But she spread rumors around the school that I had been staring at her body and that I might be hiding somewhere in the girls' locker room or bathroom.
Why don't you go and prove her wrong? Go on, just talk to a boy.
I'd rather sprinkle cat litter on broccoli and eat that.
Yuck, you're a savage and so weird.
Yeah, Ellie was nothing like me. She was really popular with the guys, and she was always dating one. And I was always afraid she'd end up choosing someone exactly like Dad. Once she was getting ready to go out with a boy I knew was a jerk. But she wouldn't listen to me, so I had to do something myself that evening. I opened the door when he knocked. So you're Mark? No, wait. She said he's hot. Are you Shane?
No.
He comes on a motorbike every time. You must be the rich donkey she was talking about?
What? She said that. And who are all these guys?
Who knows? Maybe it's those other donkeys. Maybe you should ask Peter. He and Ellie have been pretty tight lately. He got pissed and left, and when Ellie found out, she was furious.
Now you're spoiling my chances too. Okay, what's up with you and boys? Don't you find them cute and fun?
I find them useless and annoying, and I don't know why you're dying to be with one. You're too young anyway. Just stay away from them. But she'd never do that. One evening, I realized that I'd left some important notes in my locker, and I had to go back to school to get them. Just then, I heard a beautiful voice from the boys' locker room. I took a peek through the door and saw someone singing along with his guitar. It was Parker, the quiet millionaire who joined school a week ago and had all the girls drooling. I stood there quietly and continued to listen until he stopped and looked right at me.
So do you like it?
Oh God, he saw me. It didn't make my ears bleed, so I guess it was all right.
You're the famous man-hater, aren't you? I'm flattered to have you as a fan, but I'll have to give you my autograph another time. I don't have a pen right now.
Oh, that's too bad. I want to cry, but I left my hanky at home.
I'd offer you mine, but it's full of boogers. Anyway, what are you doing here so late?
I got bored and decided to find my Prince Charming here at school, and you?
Same reason. I was waiting for someone as pretty as you to secretly listen to me as I sing.
So is this the part where we fall in love and start dating?
No! I think we should get married right away and have kids!
Suddenly I noticed his boots. They were covered with mud. You know, there's a reason I stay away from boys, and I'm certain you're no different. With that, I walked away. This Parker seemed really full of himself. And to my dismay, I found out a few days later that he was being paired with me as the lead in the school play. But he seemed more disappointed than me.
Ma'am, can't we choose someone else to play the heroine's part?
What's your problem? Why are you trying to get me out of the play?
Because I don't want to play the part with a girl who's allergic to boys. We'll have no chemistry.
I don't have to like you to be good at acting. I can fake chemistry.
There's a kissing scene. You sure you're up for it?
Yeah, I'm a professional and we don't need to practice it. We can just do it on the day of the play.
Fine by me. I'm an expert anyway.
We started rehearsing soon with Lily as my understudy, but her main role seemed to be flirting with Parker. And he was just as annoying as any boy I'd ever met. He was late for rehearsals, he was always eating on set and making a mess, and he had to take 100 breaks. But I had to admit he was a good actor and was perfect for the part. A few days later, we were doing a dress rehearsal, and soon after wearing my costume, my back really started to itch. I somehow made it through my part and then rushed to the dressing room. I looked at my back in the mirror at the huge, ugly burn mark I've had since I've been in an accident when I was 8 years old. The costume's material had really irritated my scar, and it was all red and itchy. I took a picture in the mirror to send to my skin doctor and then quickly changed into my clothes. But as I picked up my phone again, I realized that I'd sent the picture to freaking Parker. Oh my god! Feeling panicked, I texted him that I sent the picture by mistake, but he never replied. I just slipped out and headed home, feeling really worried. I was certain that jerk would show it to everyone, especially Lily. But the next day when I went to school, no one was looking at me weirdly or talking about me. No one brought it up at all. Later, I spotted Parker by himself in the hallway and I walked over to him. Hey, listen, thank you for not sharing that picture with anyone. I know I'm an ugly freak.
What picture?
The one I sent you yesterday.
I'm pretty sure you didn't see our chat. No picture here.
He looked up at me and smiled, and I found myself smiling back.
Wow, that's the first time I've seen you smiling. I don't think you should do that. It's not a great look on you.
I just rolled my eyes and walked away. Okay, he wasn't a jerk, but he was still annoying. But it was nice of him to pretend he didn't receive the picture to not embarrass me. When the day of the play finally came, I was super excited. Our performances were going really smoothly. Well, until the kissing scene.
What are you doing? You're supposed to kiss me now?
Yeah, I know that. I'm just getting ready.
It's just a kiss. Kiss me, Skylar.
Fine. I put my hands on his face and my heart was racing as our lips touched. I felt something I'd never felt before, and I was kind of disappointed when he pulled away and started saying his next dialogue. Back at home, Ellie couldn't stop teasing me about the kiss and our chemistry on stage, which I completely denied and slammed the door in her face. But I couldn't stop thinking about the kiss all night. Was I catching feelings for Parker? But the next morning, I forgot all about it when I went down for breakfast and found Mom crying. Mom, what's wrong? What happened?
I'm going to lose the pet house.
It turned out that Mom had taken a big loan a while back from an investment company to keep the pet shop running. But lately, she hadn't been able to make the payments on time. And now the company was demanding that she pay it immediately. And the investment company belonged to Lily's dad.
I'll have to sell the pet house. It's not been doing well for a while, and I'm just not making enough.
But Mom, you love it. Everyone in the neighborhood loves it. It's been around for 30 years. There has to be a way we can save it.
I don't think there is, honey.
I felt really heavy-hearted when I went to school that day. I was sitting alone on the bleachers at recess when suddenly Parker joined me.
What's up with your face today?
And to my horror, I started to cry! I buried my face in my arms as I sobbed, and I felt Parker putting his arm around me.
Hey, what's going on? Do you want to talk about it?
And I found myself telling him everything. When I was done, he handed me his hanky and looked at me.
I might have a solution for your problem.
What? What do you mean?
I guess you don't know that Lily's dad and my dad are business partners. They both own that investment company. I'll talk to my dad today and ask him to make the loan payments easier for you guys. I don't want you to lose that pet shop. It seems like it means a lot to you.
Do you really mean that? Will your dad agree?
He will, I promise.
I was so thrilled that I threw my arms around him in a bear hug. He hugged me too, and we just stayed like that for a while. Parker, did you just smell my hair?
What? No, I didn't.
Why are you helping me?
Because I'm not a jerk.
Is that all?
Yeah, don't worry. I wouldn't fall for someone who's decided to hate boys for all eternity.
Well, maybe I don't hate you. Parker's face suddenly lit up, and he drew me close and kissed me, and it felt amazing. True to his word, Parker talked to his dad, and Mom was ecstatic when the company told her they changed their decision. And Parker and I, well, much to everyone's surprise and Lily's anger, we started dating. I couldn't believe I had a boyfriend. Prom came around a few months later, and when Ellie and I reached school, I spotted Parker from afar looking so cute. I walked up to him and was about to kiss him when he suddenly stopped me.
Hey, Skylar, wait, there's something I need to talk to you about.
Okay, why the serious face? He led me out of the hall and then he spoke.
Listen, I hate that I'm ruining prom for you, but I just have to tell you now our company is facing some losses and Lily's dad is insisting that we collect all outstanding loans, so I'm afraid your mom will have to make the full payment very soon. I am so sorry.
I felt the ground slip beneath my feet. Are you kidding me? You promised and now you're just breaking it just like that.
It's not my decision, Skylar. I don't own the company.
Then maybe it wasn't your promise to make either. Did you just do it to get together with me? To win me over, and you never really meant it?
What are you talking about? Of course, I meant it. I tried to help you. Can't you at least see that?
No, all I can see is that you gave us false hope. I would have been better if you hadn't. Why is everyone so disappointing?
Well, maybe your standards are too freaking high.
Well, maybe I'm just better off alone. I stormed out of there in angry tears. I'd made a mistake believing a stupid boy, and even a bigger mistake of falling for him. High school had come to an end, and Ellie and I helped Mom pack up the shop over the summer. It broke our hearts to lose it, but there was nothing we could do. One day, as Ellie and I were going back home, we walked past a cafe where I spotted several kids from school, including Parker and Lily, and she was clinging onto his arm. Ellie saw my face and said,
You don't know they're together, Skylar.
I'm pretty be sure that they are, and I really don't care. I went off to university to study drama and theater, and I was having an amazing time. I made loads of cool friends, yes, even guys, and I realized I've been foolishly stubborn to think they were all bad. Sometimes I even regret it being so hard on Parker and driving him away. He was just a high school kid like me back then, and it wasn't his fault that we lost our pet shop. Soon after graduation, I went back home to attend Ellie's wedding. Her husband seemed a lot more sensible than Dad, and she seemed really happy, and I was happy for them. Later that night, someone rang the doorbell, and I was shocked when I opened the door.
Hello, Skylar.
Standing outside was Parker. Hi, what are you doing here?
I've been in touch with Ellie. She said you were coming back for her wedding. I really wanted to talk to you.
I stepped out onto the porch, and he said something completely unexpected.
You know, I never forgot about that burn scar on your back.
My scar? That's what you want to talk about?
Yeah, I've never stopped thinking about how you saw yourself with it, or how painful it must be for you. I found an amazing skin surgeon, and he can fix it, Skylar. And if you agree to go for it, I'd like to pay for the surgery.
But why are you doing this?
I swear I'm only doing it as a friend. I know I let you down all those years ago, and now that I can make some decisions on my own, I want to do this.
I stopped being mad at you a long time ago, Parker. You don't have to do this.
I want to. Please don't say no.
After a lot of thinking, I agreed. I underwent the surgery a week later, and when I woke up, Parker was by my side, smiling.
The doctor said it went great.
I can't thank you enough, Parker. I really owe you.
No, you don't. Well, I'll accept a cup of coffee.
It's a date?
Is it?
Maybe. I sat up in bed and pulled Parker towards me in a hug.